Okay, so it's time for us to say our goodbyes. Same as last time, but with one small exception. Well, wait a minute, Robo. How can a gate grow weak? Or how can anything grow weak? Is that possible? Don't you mean growing stronger? Hey, Kino, what do you mean by that? I give her many babies. Yeah, okay. And someone was asking me about Isla and Kino. They're both Marley's ancestors. Well, obviously. But, I mean, it's like, oh, well, gee, that's a little weird, but... So let's go. Oh, no goodbye? Well, piss off, then. Gee, thanks for saving my kingdom or the world or anything like that. Aw, what a nice kiss. Well, that was nice. And what of Magus and his search for Skyla? Well, you'll have to wait for Chrono Cross to find out what happens there. And now Robo and Doan have to say goodbye. And I don't think Doan says anything either, does he? Man, these guys are jerks. You see, since we changed the future, someone was asking me, why is Atropos there in the future? Because you see, Atropos was not a time traveler, so she's not immune to the effects of time travel, whereas Robo is, so he would remember, but Atropos will still be there in the future, so. And Luca is crying here. She's not doing something else, you filthy-minded human being. I just can't get over that. Robo cries. Well, maybe we can find some other problem in the world to solve together, and you won't have to go away, or... I mean, what's going on? Oh, the gate just closes here, and that's it. Just like the way it should have the first time! Oh, I guess my cats aren't going to run away after all this time around. All right! We get a happy ending after all. Well, let's visit the king. Better not be a giant bell. Damn it! Come on, I already have 10 of these things. Oh, it's Nadia's bell. Did he call it Nadia's bell in the other ending? I forget. What, you want Marley to put that thing up there? Whoa, she's strong. Oh, yeah, she's gonna need a little help there. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, how's she gonna do that all by herself? She's got a whole bunch of balloons there and everything, so... Alright. Whoa! The balloons are picking her up. I don't think so. Save me, Chrono! Save me from the killer balloons! No! No! I think they did a Mythbusters episode on that or something. Hey, Chrono, get back here!
He stole my balloons!
Ha ha ha! And that's why I like Jack Nicholson's Joker better than Heath Ledger's Joker. I'm sorry, he's just so much more fun than the 1989 Batman. Okay, well, now a lot of people have been asking me about Chrono Cross as Chrono and Marley float across the world on their balloons. Now, just so everyone knows, Chrono Cross, it's pretty high on my list of potential future Let's Plays, but I just don't want to plan too far ahead. I mean, I'd like to do it, but obviously a lot of work would have to go into that. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I really liked Chrono Cross. I mean, I wouldn't say it's even close to Chrono Trigger, but it was still a fun game for me to play, and I mean, that's really the point to me. I mean, I had a good time playing it. So, if you decide to play Chrono Cross, one thing I'd say is go into it with an open mind. Don't expect it to be anything like Chrono Trigger, though, because you'll be disappointed if you do that. And I think that's why there's so many haters of the game, because they expected it to be the same thing as Chrono Trigger, and it was completely different, which it basically is, really. So, I mean, there's no way you're going to top Chrono Trigger. The standards are just ridiculously high there. So, looking back on it, the thing I really liked about Chrono Cross was how well it stood on its own. They didn't try to make it such a direct sequel with the same characters and everything. None of the characters from Chrono Trigger are playable in Chrono Cross. And it's more of a spin-off with a reference to Chrono Trigger than a direct sequel. Why they couldn't have done that with Final Fantasy X, I don't know. Come on, viewers, you gotta admit, Chrono Cross was way better than Final Fantasy X Part 2. Come on, you gotta give me that much. And of course, in Chrono Cross, they do eventually get around to tying the storyline into the events of Chrono Trigger, but I just like how they decided to do something different. Let the game stand alone by itself, but not so drastically different from everything else in, RPGs like Final Fantasy VIII was, which is still a good game in its own right, too. Another aspect I like about Chrono Cross is that how there's no grinding at all in the game. It's almost impossible to grind, really. There's no abilities to learn naturally like we do in this game, or you don't improve really that much by grinding. A little bit, but not significantly. Maybe a few stats here or there. You can't really gain levels until you beat a boss, so that really keeps the challenge of the game up too, especially against a certain man with a complete lightsaber ripoff. I still have nightmares from that guy. And we haven't even gotten to the game's strengths yet. The music of Chrono Cross is awe-inspiring enough as it is, and the graphics are very well done without being too blocky, realistic, or cartoony. It's a nice blend in between. That said, the game certainly has its drawbacks. It's a fairly unique battle system, so it does take some getting used to. And there's also 45 characters to recruit in the game. Yeah, that's a few too many. I say keep it somewhere between 4 and 9 characters. Maybe a few more if it's like Final Fantasy IV, where some of them never come back, but... And a lot of people seem to be disappointed with the confusing storyline and how little it related to Chrono Trigger. Well, I guess that's hit or miss, really. If you want a simple storyline that's a direct sequel to Chrono Trigger, well, you're not going to find it in Chrono Cross. But if you want a unique gaming experience and have fun doing it, I'd give Chrono Cross a whirl. Just don't expect it to be Chrono Trigger, because it is definitely not. So that's all for the regular game of Let's Play Chrono